The Madonnas of Echo Park is a grand mural of a neighborhood in East Los Angeles, and it's also an intimate glimpse into the lives of people who live there who are still struggling to assimilate into American culture even after their families have lived there for generations. Aurora Esperanza is a young woman who, with her mother Felicia, is involved in a drive-by shooting on a corner in Echo Park. She's dancing there with a few of her friends, mothers and daughters, who are dancing to a Madonna video. The book then explores various characters' perspectives in the neighborhood, and each one of the stories unfolds like the petals of a flower. So you not only get a sense of the characters' lives in the neighborhood, but also the neighborhood as a whole. When I was growing up, I remember watching a documentary about Echo Park, and Sunset Boulevard runs right through it, the famous Sunset Boulevard, and the documentary said that Echo Park is the most beautiful ghetto in America. Today, a mix of Latinos, Anglos, young West Siders, Vietnamese, basically a lot of different cultures and ethnicities live there today in one of the most geographically distinct areas of Los Angeles. When I was 3 years old, my Mexican father abandoned me, and my mother got into a relationship with a man named Brando Skyhorse, a Native American, and I believed at the time that that man was my biological father. When I found out the truth about it, my mom encouraged me to lie, not only for my sake, but for her sake, because she was living a life as a Native American as well. And as I started to write my own fiction, I discovered that, you know, the stories of Mexican Americans are just as fascinating as any other culture. I think one of the reasons that I wrote this book was that I wanted to see my area of Los Angeles, but also my own experiences documented in a way that I hadn't seen before. So for me, the experiences of living in a place like Echo Park, which in Los Angeles is often associated with, you know, gangs and drugs and crime. There are all of those elements there, but there are also other elements as well. You have hardworking first and second generation Mexican Americans who are just trying to make a living, and you have their children who are growing up in a very Americanized way. If I've done my job correctly, you'll read this book and you'll discover a culture and a way of life that was hiding in plain sight that you've never seen before. But at the same time, you'll hopefully be entertained, because at the end of the day, I think people want stories, and they want characters that they can relate to and empathize with. So, you know, much like the characters that are in my book, you know, you have an angry bus driver who's upset about illegal immigration. You have a housemaid who's working up in the Hollywood Hills who just wants a better life for her and her daughter. Those stories directly address race and class without me as an author saying, here's what I think about it.